Tired of shows that bark and scream at you? This is the show that speaks to you.
Here's the game plan.
It's the Big E Sports Extravaganza, where we go inside the issues, present a variety of topics, and feature some of the biggest sports guests on the planet. Now, here's the one and only, award-winning Elissa Walker Campbell.
Hey, Elissa Walker Campbell, I want to welcome you back to the Big E Sports Show. And right now, we're going to shift gears a bit. We're going to head up to Dallas, Texas, and we're going to talk some country music. Country music has always been rooted in storytelling, and sometimes those stories come from places deeper than the stage. Today, we're joined by Van Tyler-raised country artist Delee, whose powerful new single, If There's a Place, brings to life lyrics written by her late father decades ago, a man who lived a remarkable life that included protecting legends like David Allan Coe and George Jones. And now Delee has taken his words and turned them into a heartfelt tribute that blends traditional country music with modern sound. And we are so excited to welcome Delee to the show. Thank you so much for joining us for the very first time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so excited to talk with you. And it's such an honor knowing your family history and the legacy that you're part of. And thank you. It's just great to be here.
Absolutely. Well, we love celebrating our dads, and we're going to talk about that here in just a moment. But your new single, If There's a Place, that is what it's titled, is deeply connected to your dad. And so when you first heard these lyrics, what did they mean to you, Delee, personally?
You know, it's really interesting. My dad was not a country music star like yours. Uh-huh. He was a police officer, detective, but he just had a deep passion for country music. And he was always writing music and playing the guitar around the house. And, you know, he was this tough 6'4", you know, like John Wayne figure that I just was mesmerized by as a little girl.
Yeah.
But he struggled expressing his emotions. So kind of the way we connected was with music, you know, and I will tell you, he wrote this song in 1980. I was just a little girl. Oh. And I think it was the first time that I realized lyrics had meaning. Now, I was too young to understand, but it made me think, like, what is he feeling? You know, because he wrote them. Before it was other people's words that he was singing around the house a lot. But I would definitely pick up on those emotions. Like, okay, he's singing "Take This Job and Shut Up." I need to go to my room. You know what I mean? That's a distinct memory. I bring it up a lot because it's a distinct memory that he was singing, and I went, "What? I'm going to just go to my room right now."
Yeah.
But this was one that he wrote, and I remember going, "What's Daddy doing? Like, how is he feeling? And it was me realizing my dad had feelings, really, and he had something to say. And out of all the songs, he has like probably 15 journals of songs he wrote when he was alive, and never shared them publicly on a stage. He would go and sing at Opry houses. We did as a family, and I did growing up. And he was always singing other people's songs. He never sang one of his. So it was something that he sang around the house, and it was special to me. And for me to be able to bring it to life, it's just a full circle moment for me that is incredible, you know?
Well, what was the moment that you knew that you wanted to turn your dad's words into a song?
Well, the tune is my dad's tune. It's not just the words. This is his tune. He played it with his guitar around the house. But, you know, I got to think, I'm a songwriter, and I've written well over 100 and something songs. I don't even know how many. But there came this moment I was trying to decide what was going on in my EP. And let me just tell you, I had never written a song, except for I think I wrote like a very terrible Whitney Houston-ish type of song in high school that if I could find it, I would love. Obviously writing about things I knew nothing about. But I didn't write a song until after my dad passed away in May of 2023. And I desperately was missing him and wanted to connect with him. And what seemed fitting was for me to channel it through, writing songs like he did. And I never planned on anyone hearing anything I'd written, to be honest. I was going to do what my dad did, but I started writing. And so to me, putting out my second album, what made sense to me was, adding my favorite of all of his songs to that album, which made this man that had been gone a while, that meant so much to me, because he became a professional songwriter on his birthday in January this year, after his passing. And for me to be able to give him that gift, because he gave me the gift of music, he is the reason I ever wrote a song. So why wouldn't I do that for him? And of course, he would probably be so embarrassed by the fact that I did this, but yet secretly kind of love it. So that's why it seems fitting. And music is personal. It's not
100%.
It is the most intimate thing you can do, is to share your soul through song. Even if it is someone else's words, we connect, all of us, intrinsically through music. And so it wasn't even a question to me.
Well, and I was going to say, recording in Nashville on Father's Day, how incredibly symbolic. I mean, what was that moment like for you emotionally?
That's why I think this is, this sounds, hopefully people understand this. This feels as though I'm not even driving the bus.
Yep.
It kind of feels like I'm just a passenger experiencing it, because you would think that was planned. It was not. My producer and I were we had already recorded the first 4 songs last year of the album, and we needed to record it, the next set. And we were trying to coordinate our schedules. And my father's passed away, so this sounds terrible, but it's not marked in my calendar anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Father's Day is not listed anymore. And so he said, I'm free these dates. And I went, okay. And so I booked my flight. We planned it. A couple of days before, he said, which song are we starting with? And I said, the one that's going to be the hardest for me to do is my dad's, emotionally, And so I said, let's start with my dad's. And then I flew to Nashville, and I realized, are you kidding me? Sunday is Father's Day?
Wow.
What? And I literally, when I landed in Nashville, I called Jacob Kulick, my producer, and I went, what did you do to me? Like, this is going to be hard enough. But it's only, I guess, it was the second or the third, I can't do. He passed away right before Father's Day. So it's the third Father's Day without him. And I'm having to bring his song to life. What have you done to me? He just started laughing. He goes, we'll get through it. Don't worry. And I mean, both of us cried through making this song, but it was one of the most beautiful experiences of my life. And I'm sincerely meaning this, because I could feel my dad there the whole time. He was present with us. He was part of the making of this song. And I've got goosebumps right now, but he was very much present. And it was one of the most beautiful days I've ever experienced. And then releasing it on his birthday. Now, that was a little bit planned. It was either the Friday before or the Friday of his birthday. I'm like, record it on Father's Day, release it on his birthday. Happy birthday, Dad.
There you go.
What I mean?
Yeah. Country artist Elissa is our very special guest on the Big E Sports Show, and we are highlighting her brand new If There's a Play single. And when listeners hear this song, what do you hope that they connect with the most from the lyrics?
I hope that they hear this song. It's got it's an old school country ballad that brings in gospel undertones. I want them to connect to it in a way to realize there is something bigger than your loneliest, saddest place. And that there's there's support in this world, and inside of us, outside of us, and in other places that you can connect to help you. I thought it was really interesting that my dad wrote this song thinking about it being this very tangible, like going to the grocery store, like I could just go to the grocery store with my heartache and loss and pain. And, the whole song is about how he's feeling and how he wants to find a place to take, that pain where the memories hurt, they're lovely and they're the most wonderful, beautiful memories. You're in this place where those memories that used to bring you so much joy just hurt because you can feel the loss. And for him to write that, he had enough heartaches to qualify. That's in verse 2. I have enough heartache to get in. And then the line that got me, I remember as a little kid, was when he transitioned the song to, I know that I'll keep on looking, and I know that if I ever find the place where you take all your misery, and he says, I bet there'll be many in line. I remember that's a transition. That's a pivotal point in the song that you realize this isn't a person that's all about themselves. He's recognizing a lot of us are hurting out here. And it's one of those songs that I hope people are inspired by. They feel connected, can connect with each other through, and it just brings them to home, to a good place within. And, yeah.
And what's interesting too is your story is really garnering attention. You even got a recent shout out from Joe Rogan. How surprised were you with his response? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, those surreal moments that are out of body experiences. Yeah. The funniest thing was I was at home. Okay, I'm just going to be real because I'm a real person here.
We're all about that.
On top of my head. I was sitting with my laptop in a stained T-shirt from what I'd eaten for my coffee, and my breakfast was on my shirt, wrinkled old shirt, hair on top of my head, no makeup on, looking like death, rolled over. And my phone starts going zzz, 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 zzz. I mean, it's going crazy.
You're like, what's happening?
And I'm like,
yeah.
What is happening right now? A couple of weeks before, I'm not making this up, my Instagram had 62 followers. And there is a backstory in this, and it started with Kill Tony. My oldest son is a comedian.
Okay.
And his name's Jacob Marshall. Anybody check him out?
Nice, okay.
He's amazing. And he went on Kill Tony. Hopefully you're familiar with Kill Tony. And he wasn't even planning this. People think this was contrived, but he just thought that's it. He thinks, how your children, when your mom does something, they think you've gone crazy and you need a straitjacket.
Yep.
He thought I was insane to pursue a music career at my age. And he thought when they start asking me questions on Kill Tony, that's something no one's going to, and he planned on fully making fun of me. And it started out that way. They were making fun, but then they played my song, and it became this thing that it went a different direction. Like they were like, good for her. But my son was still kind of trying to play up isn't this a joke that my mom's doing this, right? Well, Joe Rogan apparently saw it. And the Kill Tony show actually aired after Joe Rogan. It's just the way they're set up. So Joe Rogan actually talked about me publicly before the Kill Tony, but he had seen Kill Tony, and Sam Talent was on the show with him, and he happened to be on the board at Kill Tony when my son was there. And so that's kind of how that happened. And Joe Rogan went to bat for me, like, how dare he talk about her chasing her dream? So what? Good for her. But it was crazy because they're talking about, how great it is and that I was pretty and all this stuff. And here's the funny thing. My phone's going crazy. I walk in the bathroom and I look at myself with this frazzled hair and stained T-shirt, looking not pretty at all. And I just started laughing like, this is the girl they're talking about. I mean, it's just, you know what I mean? You have those moments that you realize, I'm just a girl. I'm just a normal girl that you'd meet on the street. You know what I mean?
100%. Hey, we are winding down our time. Country music artist Elissa is with us, our very special guest. I got to ask you, how has this journey changed your relationship with your dad's memory?
honestly, it's as if right now, with this song being released, it's given me my dad back in some ways.
Love that.
I know that probably doesn't, because, he's gone, very much gone, but he lives.
Yes.
He lives. Music does that. And I know you get this with your dad, Charlie Walker. I mean, oh my gosh, when I hear his song and people say how much they love it, and it's getting a lot of attention, and I just think, Dad, I just want people to realize that talent exists in places you would never realize. This was a man that everyone saw him as a dad, a law enforcement officer. He was a retired Army vet. He was a high school dropout.
Wow.
He didn't even finish 9th grade and lived in East Texas in this little small town. Unexpected talent lives in places you would never, and you cannot judge a book by its cover. You just can't. And for people to see this, I hope it makes people see that anything could happen. You have this amazing life that you can do anything with. And you are who you believe you are, not what people tell you you are. And so I get to spend this time with my dad again, as if he's still here, and let people see who he really was, If your dad, which we believe that he is, I mean, like, if he could hear this finished song today, what do you think he would say to you? I've wondered that, and it's hard for me. I even asked my mother; she's still here. They were married 59 years, and I asked her that question because I thought, I don't think Dad could ever. My dad was raised the youngest of 10, a sharecropper, the poorest of poor. He dropped out of school in 9th grade because they put him on the free lunch program, and he was mortified and quit school. So when I tell you this man could never fathom this, it's so real. And that carried on to me. I mean, me experiencing this is almost unreal. I still don't have my feet underneath me that I'm getting to live this extraordinary life that in some ways I don't even feel like I deserve. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I definitely feel like he's here. So I asked my mom, and she said, he wouldn't believe it. Like I don't think your dad, even if you told him, he would go, that wouldn't happen. He just never thought enough of himself in that way. I'm not good enough for that. I'm not Charlie Walker. You get what I mean? Like, he just couldn't see himself. Even the day he died, he was still that sharecropper's son working the fields at 4 years old. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. It does. And what an incredible story. And I just so appreciate you sharing your heart, sharing your music. And I do, while you're on the program, I want you to connect with our audience. And where can they go and check out this new single? And it is titled, If There's a Place. It is available now. What a beautiful reminder of just how music can just bring so many memories and legacy across generations.
I have a few things coming up in Nashville, but always it's the best way to find out the latest is to either go to my Instagram, which is DLEE.official,
Perfect,
or TikTok, Recording Artist Delee. Connect with me on social media. That's where the latest updates are and to know kind of what's going on. Obviously, go to Spotify. It's under Delee. I know it's weird, D''Lee'.
It's beautiful.
I have two brothers, Frank and Steve, but they got creative with their only daughter.
Well, we appreciate your time and we wish you continued success as this song reaches listeners everywhere. It's amazing. And we appreciate you carving out time and being with us this weekend. Thank you so much, Delee. And I look forward to hopefully meeting you someplace here in Texas at some point. Okay.
I would love that. And thank you so much to you and yours. And also for the memories. One of the last memories I have was sitting watching Country Family Reunion.
Oh, yeah.
With your dad singing his incredible song, Pick Me Up on Your Way Down. Yep. Y'all go listen to it. It's still on Spotify.
It is. Oh.
And it was one of my last memories with my dad.
Oh, there's so many days when I miss my dad, and it's such a blessing to be able just to, listen to him or his discography, his CD set, and to listen to him even on Sirius XM radio. So thank you so much for sharing, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.